fire these suckers up and click on this bad boy. Click on this bad boy. Okay, let's go to main cam. No, none of this, none of that. Scooch my mic up in my face a little bit more, and this is going to be a video on how to get, this is a table that I found a while ago called Arabian Village. Big white male, I'm not sure what that stands for. Load this thing right out of the workshop. You want to do things like go to the workshop. You wouldn't be able to see half of this stuff anyway unless I kick it over to the other ones. But when you hit browse, you can browse through the workshop and you'll find different things. That's where I found this table. It just came up in a thing that I was doing amongst other tables that I'm going to eventually convert because I might use them at some point. But for today, we're going to do this Arabian Village. You can see this is a goofy ass looking table. I don't even know what's going on in the background, why it's all fuzzy and weird looking. But generally, what I want to do is I want to get rid of a lot of this crap, like a lot of this junk. This table, to me, is relatively useless. These things are, you know what I mean, like sort of pointless. They're missing their deals. What do we got over here? Oh, we got a thing over here. This must be where the guy's hiding it. For looping desert ambience. Okay. So that's why that's there. We don't need that either. And then we're gonna get rid of this thing. He's using a different table, I think, rather than the standard one, which is fine. But this map is just, I don't want to say ungodly, but the size of it is unnecessary. You can, you know, scale Tabletop Simulator, so why not zoom in? So the easiest way to do this for me, looking at what's going on here, is I'm just going to hit custom on this because I want to keep this image. I want this image to be my base one world thing for this map. So if we go to diffuse image and hit Control C, scooch over to the right monitor, and this is it here. Control V, you want to paste it into the whatchamacallit, and we'll show you this. You paste it into the search bar and you get this map. Right, so I want to take this map and I want to hit save image as, what is this one called? We're going to call this Arabian Desert. Arabian Desert map. .jpeg, because it's not going to be a layer. It's going to be the base. It can be a JPEG. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up in my GIMP. So we're going to go over here, right? You want to go to your downloads or wherever it stores it. Right click, open with GIMP. When the GIMPster pops up, hopefully you'll see most of the GIMP on this map. I'm in the process of adjusting some stuff and trying to get things to fit. So let's see if we can't click this in place a little bit. It still needs to be a touch smaller. Maybe if I went like this. Oh, beast. I don't want to spend half my video adjusting the stupid map thing, so, or the size of it. Let's just kind of see if we can't hokily-pokily get it to where it needs to be. Close enough. Okay. Hopefully that looks somewhat normal on your map. So this is just a big ass kind of a square map. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to this rectangle tool select. If we go to image, we go to image properties. I'm just working out the math in my head as I do things here. And we go to canvas size. This is an 800 by 800. Image properties. 800 by 800. But in order for us to import this into Tabletop Simulator, it needs to be something along the lines of 1600 by 945. So we need to change this. So what we're going to do is we are going to go image and we are going to go canvas size and change this to 1600 by 945 and see what happens. We'll hit the resize button. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to go to image, scale image. 1600 by 945. Now this is going to make it sort of look weird and loopy, but that's still okay. I mean, that is still a usable sand dunes map, so that works out well. So I don't have to do anything else. There's no cropping, there's no clipping. I'm good with that. We will export that as the same map. And I'm going to close down my GIMP. And I'm going to go back to my right window because this is where I use my imager. So on this map, I'm going to put this, because it's kind of a generic map, I'm going to put this one under my 1600 by 945 tabletop simulator maps. Now how I get it in here is just open my Windows Explorer and I take this map and I just drag it into here and it uploads it. From there, I'm going to hit end so I can scooch all the way down to my bottom map and see it. So I've kind of got that stuff in place, and then back to Tabletop Simulator. Now that I've got this giant image, I'm going to right click on this and I'm going to delete it. I want it off my table. The rest of the stuff can go as well, like these little outlying bits of things. We don't need any of that, and we don't need any of that. And as far as the other things, they probably won't be saved anyway. So now really what I got to do is I got to start selecting these things, these weird buildings. Right click, control right click to select them both. Lock and drop them on the table. I'm just going to lock those two things in place. So control click to select whatever it is that you want. Let's go click all these things too. And click this one. Unlock them. As soon as I drag them up in the air, they'll fall down. And then I can just relock them. Let's do the same thing with this. Lock. And this is all we're going to be doing here. That actually might have fallen a little too far into the table, but I'm still okay with that. Okay, so that needs to go there somewhere. Zoom in over here. What is this thing? Oh, this is some kind of forge or something. Just put this here. I'm just putting the pieces on the table right now because I know that I'm gonna need to keep them on the map. Now you can see a lot of this stuff is kind of messed up. Like this has the Photoshop things on it. That's fine. We can fix that as well. Choose this. I'm going to choose all of this stuff. Each one of these little individual pieces. Choose the goats. Is there anything hidden around there? Nope. Deselect this because we don't want that. Oh, there's some open doors and stuff. So we'll let that come crashing down. That's fine. We missed some doors. These doors are goofed up anyway, so I'm going to use my doors. Let's get rid of those. I've got a couple of maps with some fixed doors on it anyway. Is this locked? Yes. Right click, lock. There she goes. Fortunately, because there was really no definition on the map, I'm using my hotkeys. F8 will take you to this. So it's going to be 0, and I think this is going to be 170, 172. No, sorry, my bad one. I think it's one. No, it's not even 190. Where does this look like it's going to be square? $180-ish, something like that. F8. Click on this, and then we're just going to... This thing keeps getting in the way. I like to pop it up in the corner. Let's move this over here. Something like that, and scooch it into position. Always watch these little green tabs that are up here. This will give you the idea of where the model starts to touch the other model, because as soon as you push it into the building, they'll start to disappear. So you want it somewhere right about there. Looks good to me. Although you could push it in more and have that like sort of completely disappear and just connect these as one there. Right? Looks like a deal. So there's no... I see why he had the doors on here. There's no other doors in other places. If it shows up white, that means it's not locked into place. I'm not worried about these things because I'm going to have to fix them. And then we'll just toss the goats over here, and that should take care of that building. What do we got going on here? So control click. We're probably going to lose some stuff on this one too. I see there's a door on the outside, so if I hit lock, I grab all of this. I'm going to move this building over here. Lock that in place. That's fine. And then I'm going to delete these to get rid of them. Look at this little three-piece tower here. 1, 2, 3. Lock. If this doesn't work for you, you're going to need to go into options. I'm not sure. No, I don't think it's under permissions. I think it's under configuration. Controls, sounds, graphics. Where is it? Game. Always turn off mod threading. Or sorry, mod caching. Use multiple cores. That's fine. Mod caching. Store mod data. So we want to turn that off. Store mod data. On your disk to speed up mod loading, I like to turn that off because if you've saved the buildings to your table, but there's an error with them between the time you save them and the time you go to use them, you will load your saved copy and new players to your game will load the new copy of it that will be screwed up. So things like rocks and stuff like that that have the images on them that are messed, like this bowl of lettuce, for example, would show up like this, but your bowl of lettuce might look perfectly fine. Just things like that get a little hooped. Where is the semi-locked interface? Blocked? No. Okay, so it's got to be under. Thanks for letting me down. I know it's here somewhere. Server, permissions, grid, lighting, hand turns. You want to find semi-lock. Server? There it is. Under server. What a weird spot for it. So under the server, under physics, you want semi-lock. What this does is it turns objects so that they don't move quite as well as they should. It says physics are slightly turned down or toned down. Objects are at rest, will no longer interact with other objects. If you go full, other pieces can knock set pieces down. But if it's not moving, like these buildings, won't get knocked around. Just it does things like that. So hopefully that makes sense. Semi-lock, basically when you stop a building from moving like this. So if I was to unlock this and semi-lock wasn't on, this building would automatically fall. But because it's stationary, it remains stationary. It's not until I grab onto it that it allows it to sort of move independently. Okay, so we want to set those over there. I'm actually not going to lock them in place right now. What I want to do is just get these buildings down on the ground. Look at this crazy building here. All right, and then last but not least, I'm not worried about the chickens, so let's collect these buildings and this one. We're going to lock them and we're going to set them over here, just to give me an idea as to where they're going to be. So if I click on these three things, and the crate and the donkey is screwed up, that's fine. Okay, looks good. Except for this one. This is a little bit of a bazaar, so this is kind of a different building. Good and good. And the rest of it I can live without. All the bushes and stuff at the top I can put in later. Okay, so I'm going to go to my objects. No, I'm going to go to my games. And if you have one world saved, where is one world? You can just type in here, look for one. Here we go. So under one world, we want to just hit expand. Now what expand is going to do is it's going to take all the pieces that are on that table and show them to you. And the only piece that you need right now is this hub. So you're going to take this and drop this on the table. We're going to put this table. I don't know if this table is going to work or not. We will have to see. This might be a complete duff. Let's see. Actually, I'm going to lock this right over here. When you press the I button, it's going to say there's a missing bag. So we're going to call this bag, they have to be the same. We're going to call it, let's call it Arabian. Okay, and then we're going to hit it again. It's going to pull up the other bag, and we're going to do the same thing. Call it Arabian. Now we have two bags identically named. So we press this again. It says it's missing the hub view token, so it's loaded that. Press it again. It initiates this little base piece. And then when we lock it in place, there you go. See how goofy this table is? Like, it's not only is this table like small and weird. I hope I don't get to keep this table when I pack this. Ah, that's interesting. Let's see what happens here. So if I press this and I hit new, throw that on the table. What I want to do now is I want to go over to my right monitor. So we're going to take this image, because this is the base image, and we're going to hit on this, and we're going to hit copy image address. Then we go back to our main NoCam, because we're trying to import this bad boy, and under here we're going to hit custom and change the image on this board. That's all you have to change. Except for, sorry, it's not all you have to change. It's the only part of the image you got to do. So we're going to go over here. We're going to call this Arabian Village. Okay, so this now gets dropped on top of here. Give it a second to generate its piece. We don't really need that link. That link will fall through to the center of this table and hopefully appear here somewhere. There it is right there. Okay, so let's lock this piece off over here somewhere for now. And the moment of truth. Let's pack this table and see what happens. I hope that this table here does not get packed up in with the other stuff, but I have most of the assets that I want. All right, moment of truth. Fan-frickin-tastic. Okay, now that that is done, we are going to build the Arabian table again, because it seems to have worked. Now that we've built this table, we're going to hit the export button, and that's going to drop everything into this bag. So now you're going to save this bag. I have a folder called map locations. That's where I put everything. All of my buildings go in there, except for stuff that I pull out for specific games. This is where the base tables go. If I modify things or I run specific maps inside of my campaign, like my New Haven that you might have seen, those maps will get stored in a folder that I'm using for my adventure, right? So this is A1 ICRPG campaign. So this is where the bags for that table have, because I have specific things on these. Like, I don't want to mess around with tokens and stuff like that all the time. Okay, so we are going to save this object to map locations. Now that I've saved this to map locations, I'm done here. That's all I need from this thing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to my beautiful workshop table. It doesn't matter if I save that, end that, do a thing with that. We're going to come right over here to the beautiful workshop table, and we are going to smash this I button, lock this table. We're going to go to objects, saved objects, and we're just going to type in Arabian. There it is right there. Pull this out, drop it on the table. In order to import this bag, you just, here's the other thing too to remember too. Don't pull on this bag. Click on it and hold for a second. And then when you see the bag lift up off the ground, that's when you know that you've got it. And all you do to import things into one world is just pick the bag up and drop it. It'll do all the work, spit out the link. We go to this view. Somebody was asking me about how you get the maps to not show up on the table. So what you can see right now, I'll explain this sort of as a twofer. This table right now obviously looks like this, but if you go down here to this little tab called Parent View, the table goes back to its default location. So you don't see the change. Now what parent view is going to do is it's going to allow me to see these maps, or maybe not see them, but change them without actually changing them, right? So if I wanted to go to the cave entrance, it's just a matter of double clicking it. Oh, wait a second, that he might have been asking me about something else. Parent view doesn't change this piece. It just allows you to jump around. So I guess you still do see the map. So let's just ignore that and call me wrong. It's used for a different thing that you can see in my Flight of the Red Sword map. Okay, so let's bust back to what we were doing here. Action canceled while in parent view. So we're going to click through till we get to... Oh, okay, we're not doing that. We're going to go to clear, see all, and then left once or twice, Arabian Village. Spit me out a link. Where's my Blue Sword Desert? Here we go. Okay, so I want this link on the map so that I can access it easily. Ah, jeez. Oh, I just did the same thing over. So you got to turn parent view off. Hit clear. So dumb. Can I get to whatchamacallit from here? No? No, you want to be like that? Oh. See all. 2 over. Arabian Village. Give me a link. Blue Sword Desert. Here we go. Now parent view is off. So this will work this time. And there's a minute of your life you're never going to get back. Sorry, guys. Crack out the Arabian Village, smash the build button, and let's see what we got. Okay, so suddenly we've picked up an error. So what is an error here? Okay, so I know what the problem is. All of these little plants, there's been an issue with this Michael Brand Berry Company thing. And for whatever reason, I'm assuming that most of these trees are going to do this. Let's do another sort of weird fix right away. I bet you if I right-click on this and I hit custom, nope, these colliders come in differently. So it was one of these trees. This one here. Right-click, custom, just delete this. And then hit import. And we're good. Okay. Look at the size of this table. Like, this table is big enough for all of this stuff. We're going to actually space this out a little bit and set things where they need to be. So these 2 tables, let's just put them sort of over here. That one looks like it should go there a little bit. We want to rotate that one, drop it, and lock it. And F8, because there looks like there's some stairs underneath this one. Yeah, I don't know why that is there. Or what the creator of this table was trying to get at, but what happens if we take this and just drop it down? Because now it's just all about setting the pieces in where they need to be. So what is this? F8. If we slide this over this way so that it sits there, does that look... Okay, cool. So we could put a little set of stairs or something like that back here. I like the way that this is rolling out here. Pull this up so that it sits where it's supposed to sit. I'm watching this little green thing right here so that I don't have to really change my my angle. As soon as that green thing disappears, I know I'm good. All right, so we're going to set that one there. Let's click on this. Put a little cactus bush on the outside. Right-click on this one. Ooh, that one fell right through the table. Probably because it's another one of these goofy Michael and Barry things, which I should probably fix. Flip it over. Let's lock that sucker right there. Yeah, look at this. Now I got to try and catch this stupid thing. I'm slow. It's because I'm old. Maybe I'll move a little bit. Ah ha ha ha! I caught you. I want to put you somewhere right around there. I always like to sink my things into the table a little bit because they don't want, I don't want them to look like they're floating. And now before I do anything else, let's pack this table up. Let's end this. And I'm going to go to games, and I'm going to go to my work table, and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to overwrite this. Okay, this is going to be sort of an advanced kind of a deal, but it should make kind of sense when I'm done here. Let's scoot over to the right window. A bunch of things is going to happen here. All of the game saves for Tabletop Simulator are saved somewhere in your documents. So if you go to My Documents and we go to My Games, where's My Games? Right here. My Games, Tabletop Simulator saves. And then you have all of these different saves. Save number 7 is the work table. If we go back to main cam, no TTS, and we go to the number of my work table's number is 7. So back over to the right monitor. So what I want to do is I want to go to this file here, this .json file, and I want to go edit with Notepad. When my Notepad pops up, it's going to give me a list of all of the elements that are involved with this table. Like there's some serious frickin' code here. So what I want to do is I want to hit Control F, which is going to pop up this window. And we are going to find Michael for starters. We want to go find all in current document, and you can see that we have quite a few. So what I want to do is I want to select this exact text, and I'm going to hit Control C. We're going to go back to Control F, and now we're going to go over to the Replace tab. So now what I want this to do is I want this to look for the Michael and Barry images, mini trees, because this is an error, this Michael and Barry thing. And I want to replace it with nothing. So we're just going to back this out, and we're going to hit Replace All. So I'm replacing Michael and Barry with nothing. Like this should be completely empty. Replace All. We hit up in the corner, we hit File and Save. Now, when we go back to our table here and we hit load, you don't have to refire up Tabletop Simulator or any of that stuff. We're just going to click on this table. We're going to hit load. Loading complete. Everything is fine. So we click on lock. Bust out our blue sword table. Now, hopefully what I've done, let's see what happens. When I load stuff into this table, we shouldn't get a single Michael and Barry error because all of the plants that had it should have 0, like nothing there. So you can see that what was once an error, I fixed about 10 things in a matter of a second without having to screw around. This will work also if you have any errors with general chaos. Like if you look up anything that says, or you get a map that has general chaos, we can, because this is a save game, I'll show you what I'm talking about. We go to workshop. Let's load up the D&D Museum Archive here. Now when this thing pops up, it's going to just start spewing forth all of these general chaos errors. Like there's 8 of them right off the bat. But if you look at the table, any one of these circles here is going to be a general chaos error, or it's a model that it can't access. So the fix for this, if you guys want to do your own, is to select this, hit home, and in front of general chaos, put an HTTP S://. Now this needs to go wherever you can find. So Control C, here, home, Control V. I put it in front. So when I hit import, let's find the green highlighted one. Where are you? Right there. See it? So it's this green circle represents this piece right here. So when I hit import, that piece should now spring up. See, it loaded the texture and everything. Now, now number 7 here is this object back here because it's gone green. I am not filling these in for every one. Like, it is just not happening. So you can use that exact same trick, which is save. You have to make a save. So you just close all these down. Boom, boom, boom. You go to get out of the way. Games, and just hit save. Save and load. Create a new saved table with this model on it, this map. We're going to go create, and we're going to call this one the library, Li library. So we're going to save that. And now we have save number 18 is the library. This is an easy way to fix all of these stupid things. You can see how many circles are on this map already and how many messed up pieces or models are missing. So here we go. This is the fix. We're going to go to right monitor. We are going to open up save number 18, which is this one right here. Edit with Notepad. When we edit with Notepad, we're going to go Control F. And we are going to go to find, okay, so we need to delete this. Let's get rid of all of this stuff. Delete, delete, delete. So we're going to find www.general. I think that's all we need to do. Find all in current document. And look at all of these things. Like there's, what is there? There's 150 different general chaos things. So we're going to fix 150 things in like a matter of seconds here. So what we are going to do is we are going to take the website part of it. You can select, you don't have to select all of this. I'm going to Control C that. Control F is find and replace. So we want to find anything that's www.general-chaos.com, and we are going to replace it with http:// We're going to replace this with this. Replace all. Replace the 150 occurrences. We just go up to File and hit Save. Now that that's saved, let's go back to main cam, no TTS, here we go. And under Games, we want to go to the library, and we're just going to load this table. We might get some other errors when it pops up. So what is this one? So somehow it's gotten a double in here somewhere. So one or two of these models has been fixed. But just like that, look at all the pieces. Essentially, we just basically fixed 150 things. This map loaded up, no problem. So the error that we got is easy to fix. What we're going to do is we are going to go back to the right monitor, and we are going to look for, we're going to copy this, Control V, and in front of this one here, what it had done is it had written it in twice. So this should be http:// That was the error that we were getting. So I wanted to find any instance of this exact statement and replace it with this exact. So if we hit replace all, there's two occurrences where that had happened. We go up to File, Save, and then we go back to our model, or back to Tabletop Simulator, and let's load this library again. Bada bing, loading complete. So audio clip error, unsupported file format. Somewhere in here there might be a piece of something that is making noise or something like that. You know what I mean? You can also fix. Note these chairs look good. All the maps look good on that. The floor looks good. I don't see anything that says other unusual errors. Why is there just a single piece of a door there? That is rather weird. But yeah, there you go. Just like that. I kind of got a little sidetracked with my Arabian map, but that's how you fix things. So if you find your own maps that have a shit ton of these stupid www.general-chaos errors, you can fix them with Notepad just by doing find and replace. Okay, back to the work table. Sidetracked again. Work table, load. Take a drink here. Yes, I did kill my audio, Mad Timber. Thank you very much. I didn't want you guys to actually have to listen to me take a sip of my drink and hear my ice nuggets and my slurping. And then, yeah, because I'm partially retarded, I forgot to turn my audio back on. So that said, this now is just going to be a matter of me just moving some stuff around, which is very exciting, isn't it? We'll move that. We'll move that. Let's take this collection of buildings here and try and piece them into something. Set them off to the side. Maybe this is the donkey shop over here. These little pieces of weeds are hard to play. Hard to move around, hard to grab. But yeah, I fixed all my errors with that. So there we go. Ding, ding, ding. Time to drop the grass on the ground. Move a few buildings. Where should we place this little fella? You and you. Click and click. I like how they're all straightening out for me. Oh, well, it was there. Let's lock that in place and then move it down to table height. Table height on this map is 0.97. So if we hit 0.97 here, and then 0.97 on this one, that'll set the height both to the same, and then we'll just use the manual lock and smash on that deal. All right, my Arabian village is coming along quite nicely. That can go there. These tables got to go because they're hot garbage. Let's move you over here. I want to put these pieces together, I think. Let's put a little back entryway here. We're going to lock that one there. How about this is just another small shop that faces this way. Let's get rid of this door. It doesn't get much more exciting than this, gentlemen. Plop that on there. Let's turn this around. Where'd Mark go? Did Mark disappear? Maybe what I think I'm going to do is shrink this building down a little bit so that it sort of looks more like it should be part of the top. Yeah, that's actually a little bit better there. Okay. Let's get rid of these fruity assets here. Seeing as how most of the links to the images are broken, we will get rid of them. Ha ha, Toki, what's going on, buddy? Now, to fix these, oh, we got a water trough here. Move that there and that there. Lock, lock. Function 8 to slide this into the other building a little bit. And then we're going to take this table, set it in over here. F8 to smash this into where it needs to be. Let's drop the water trough. Now, is this water trough screwed up with... Yeah, it's got the Photoshop image. Let's delete that and see if I got one in my saved objects. This is what I do now. I no longer play video games. I just build stuff. So I need a water trough. Let's see if mine is broken. Nope. Mine does not have the error on it. Fix that by putting it in game. Take the name off of it so when you mouse over it, you don't have to look at it. And this horse. This horse is another screwed up asset. But I got my own horse. Let's do horse black. F8, change this. Ooh, he's very big. Look at the size of my horse. Something like that looks about right. Or no, I think that kind of maybe looks a little too small. There, good enough. Horse black, that asset's done. What are you guys playing these days, Toke? What is the tick game of choice? Let's see here. Unlock you and move you off to the side. F8. All right, that looks good enough. Choose you. Let's turn you a little bit, lock you in place. Like, because most of this stuff doesn't really matter. Playing a few things, Apex Legends, Modern Warfare. So you guys are still doing the first-person shooter stuff. Fantastic. Are you guys, do you play online? Do you stream your stuff? Do you do any of that kind of stuff? Or is it just get in there and... Yeah, you're streaming and everything too. What is your channel so that I can check it out at some point in the near future? Sometimes, oh, DV and Rattle stream. Rattle reached out to me a couple of weeks ago, and I was talking to him, so that was actually pretty interesting. Okay, here we go. Dead by Daylight. What is that? Is that like a zombie kind of a game? All right, how's my village looking? Now, honestly, I think I can just delete some of these things up top, these floating trees. Lock and delete. Lock and delete. Got a couple more. It's a 4 versus 1 killer and 4 for, oh, I see. Okay. We got this door. Delete. And there we go. Oh no, this building here needs to go. We can't have this one right in the center of town. Let's move you over here. Move these guys around behind it. And then what is this? There's a pile of lumber in the middle of this village. I'm going to put this right here. I'm going to call this one done, except I don't like the looks of this one here. There we go. Fantastic. Oh. Are these still broken assets? Yes, they are. Okay, so in my objects, I will replace the fence because I know I have appropriately working ones that I have already fixed, except this one is effing massive. Shrink this down to size. Let's put a little... Stop doing that. What's happening? Look at my shit's flying everywhere. Fence number 1, flip it over, turn it around. It's kind of a... no, that's good. It's the color that it's supposed to be. Take the name off of this thing, and this map is just about complete. So in a matter of about an hour, I managed to make myself a sweet-ass Arabian village. Shrink this one down. Control-C. Lock. Lock that in place. Spin this one like so. Oh. And then throw these goats in there. To make sweet goat-like love. There they go. Let's lock these in place and get rid of these. Fixing assets all day long. Now it looks like I got another piece of whatchamacallit right here. Rather than do that, let's just go F8 and put this at 0.97 table height. Do I see anything else along the top here? No, it's all good. Okay, packing this map up. Oop, this is not locked in place. Let's scooch it down a little bit. There we go. Now we got a nice trail walk up to the Arabian village. Yeah, I'm good with that. I think that's her. Oh, wait a second. Why is there random crates here? Let's put that there. Move you out of the way. I guess I'm not good with this. F8. Scoot you back here. There we go. Now I'm ready for some solid Arabian gaming. These crates look massive. They should actually be quite a bit taller or smaller. Why is there such big crates there? Lock those in place. Arabian village. There we go. Now we're ready for some serious Al-Qadim action. Al-Qadim. They come flying at you with their scimitars. Or maybe you want to play a more modern game where you've got some, you know, what do they call those things when they find them in the game? Bombs they put in the roads. MIRVs? Not MIRVs. Something like that. I don't watch enough war games to, or war movies. Yeah, IEDs. Man, see, you're super helpful, buddy. There we go. Packing complete, and we're done. And just like that. So how long have I been streaming for? I don't even know. With all the other goofy shit that did, that took me a solid 48 minutes. 45 minutes, Toke. And I got myself a straight-up Arabian map. Let's hit the build button, make sure we got no errors, knocked her down to 40 pieces, converted it into one world, and hell yes, it's good enough for the ladies that I know. What do you think of that? All right, so we're going to hit, that's already packed. Well, we don't have to pack that anymore. We'll clear that map, clear that map. Going to hit the end button on this one, and we're going to hit the games because I want to save my work table game here. Click, overwrite. Everything is saved and beautiful. So we went from that map, and it was originally, if you go to the workshop, let's look at this thing, Arabian Village. Here you go, Toke. Look at this. Errors, weird, goofy shit everywhere. Look at the size of this giant table in this small little village right in the middle. I spread mine out a little bit, but actually that makes sense if you look at these tables or these little roadways. all leading into the center. But yeah, inside a tabletop simulator, shit just gets fucking incredibly big and whatnot. Whereas once I convert it into what I use was that mod called One World, that big sloppy table turns into this nice little clean table and allows me to do things like, let's lock this in place, load up other maps. I'll show you some of the other stuff that I've been working on, seeing as how you're here drooling in my channel. What is this one? New Haven Catacombs. This might take a second to build. This is coming up next week, 2 weeks from now, for my game. They're going to enter the library, and they're going to have to fight a bunch of people in shadows and chase a guy that's been stealing some stuff. Loading, slowly loading. Yeah, spoilers. None of my players watch my channel. Fog of War, there we go. Check this stuff out. So here's my library called Lore and Latte. You can see inside of it is the old man Theo. He's a poor old bastard. They got him. He's the lore master of New Haven, and yeah, he sells latte. So you can come in, read a book, have a coffee. He might be the original founder of Chapters, or whatever, you know, Barnes and Nobles, right? Maybe down the lineage ways. Through these doors, however, you have this great big Fog of War piece. I'll right-click on that and delete it. Right-click on the Fog of War. Delete it. And then we have the entranceway down into the archives where they store all of the other books. In this archive, you can see there's some stuff. There's the chairs have been knocked over. There was a bit of a fight down here as the scroll thief guy made his way through these little chambers and stuff down here, killed a few people in his wake, and then used a horn of blasting to blow a hole in this back wall. In doing so, though, he revealed this ancient hidden room where the elders of the town of New Haven had stored some of their most precious artifacts, and as the governments, so to speak, change, they would take their old papers and things, their hidden, secrets and stuff like that, bring them down into this little room and burn them, so that when the new government took over, the old government, was sort of made to look bad. But there's some sweet, solid stuff hidden in this chest back here. The horn of blasting was then again used. There's some people that were killed in here through like overtakings of regimes. They're going to be shadows. I'm going to attack my players with those. I almost TPK'd my players today. And then, yeah, it's a scooch out the back door into the sewers. That's where that leads to. So yeah, there'll be some sweet battles going on in there. What else we got going? Library basement. The spillway is the other one. So it spills out into the spillway. These little sewer maps. There we go. This is where Spurnick, or not Spurnick, the scroll thief guy comes flying through here, leaps out into the river to make the getaway out of the town of New Haven. So my players will end up chasing him through the sewers, and when they come into here, there's going to be shizzle that hits the fan. Yeah, it's pretty neat, eh? You can do all sorts of cool stuff. It's great for playing role-playing games online, like playing D&D and stuff like that. It's fantastic. You could build the scenes. I got all sorts of minis and stuff like that. If I delete this, you can see I've got my miniatures. Got all my paper forged minis. So if I wanted to throw down some goblins or something like that, I got my goblins. Maybe I want to put an ogre in here, some kind of sewer ogre or something like that. Who knows what they're going to fight in here? Maybe there's even a giant snake. Maybe, Toki, maybe there's all of them. Right? Maybe the snake is the ogre's pet. And, yeah, they're going to come down here and they got to make their way out of here. Look at this guy. What's that? Badass giant snake. Big fangs. The ogre even looks pissed off, which is pretty sweet. Well, we got to make it bigger, not smaller. And there you go. Maybe the snake's going to fight this little goblin guy and get chewed up. But anyways, I'm killing the stream, buddy. It was good to talk to you again. This is all I was going to do for the day, is show people how to convert maps, just like that. Oh yeah, they do actually do 3D models if you wanted to see some of them. I'll show you this. This is actually kind of cool. Go to components. This thing has a, right, like you can go into the villains. I'll show you even a cooler one. Where is the ogre? So this is mine, my little custom paper forge mini that I created. So you can see he's paper thin, right? And when we scooch him over, here's their ogre. He moves. He comes over. As you move him, he lumbers around, and then you can right click on him and you can go to see how it has this 1, 2, and 3. So if I mouse over him, he does his attack. Now he's got his big axe. He attacks with it. And then he dies because you've killed him. And then you can scooch in and check out his big ogre crotch. He looks like he's wearing a burlap sack. He looks like me when I go to bed at night. And then you can bring him back to life. Yeah, pretty sweet. Anyways, I'm killing this bad boy. Adios. Thanks for watching. Peace out.